Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans. Hello, everyone. I just want to start the show by saying that, hello, it's buffering already. I just want to give you guys a heads up that we've got really bad weather here, and I've been knocked off internet a few times. So if I do get knocked off, just stick around and wait, and hopefully I'll be able to pop back in, keeping my fingers crossed that everything will be okay. So thank you again for joining us, and welcome to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today, as you heard, we're broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, available on 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. Please be sure and join us in our various chat rooms to be able to connect with our hosts and our guests. And it's always fun. It's just always fun to pitch in and leave some comments and have some laughs and get your questions answered. So I love this topic, and I couldn't have two of the best people on today to discover it. We're going to be talking about mediumship in the digital age. And I think that we're standing on a fascinating intersection, the place where ancient spiritual practices of mediumship meets the lightning fast reality of the 21st century. For millennial, the connection between the world and the next relied on intuition, stillness, patience, and so much more. Today, it's mediated by apps, EMF meters, and live streaming videos. It's really changed the dynamic. This shift forces us to ask a critical question. Is the digital age truly enhancing the paranormal experience, or is it creating a new layer of noise that obscures genuine communication? Tonight, we're going deep into this debate. We'll explore the ethical minefields of online readings, the psychological impacts of instant evidence, and the very nature of spirit communication in a high-tech world. And again, I'm honored to be joined by two remarkable professionals who navigate this evolving landscape every day of their life. And they've seen this evolution take place. First, we have Lorilei Potvin. She's a Canadian clairvoyant medium, a crystal Reiki master, an Akashic Records practitioner, and a well-known voice on United Public Radio with her shows The Angel Rock and Beneath the Hollow Moon. Lorilei brings a unique and multifaceted perspective to the unseen world. I love having her as a guest on my show every month. Every week I would. And next we have Kerrilynn Shellhorn. She is a respected paranormal investigator and researcher dedicated to her field and helping others. Kerrilynn Shellhorn is a globally recognized generational psychic medium who utilizes her intuitive abilities to help her clients find healing and closure. She is deeply committed to supporting those grieving and connects with the other side to provide valuable guidance for life direction and management. She's passionate about helping individuals understand and cultivate their own intuitive skills, and determined to demonstrate that interactions with spirits are a natural part of our everyday experiences. So let me bring them on board. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I am thrilled. Couldn't ask for two of the best people for this topic. So
thank you. Kerrilynn, I think that your voice you need to do audiobooks. You need to do these recording, listening to you do your intro for the show.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I
meditation.
Agree.
You need your own meditation app.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Thank you.
I'm being serious. It's pretty calm and soothing. I always feel like a squirrel on Red Bull. I'm in the room. Here I am.
That is funny. But thank you so much. That made my day. And I've been talking so much lately, and I'm getting like hoarse because I have to put a humidifier in my house, which I've negated to do because I've just been busy. And the heat makes it so dry, and you're like constantly drinking water and awful.
I had a
hello, folks.
Teaspoon of honey, and then I put some honey in my tea before we got started to.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea. So how have you both been?
Okay, it's busy. It's a hard time of year this year for our family, but otherwise okay. Yeah. Busy. Yeah. How about you, Kerrilynn?
Yeah.
Well, it's been busy. I haven't even really got into holiday mode in the way that I would normally, just because it's been so busy, and I know things are different for you. This is your first year navigating without Justin, so
so sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, and I know it's hard for you too, Caroline. Like I say, you know what? When you don't have your loved one, and like I said, Christmas, that was my son's whole world. So I'm trying hard to get in the mood. Thus the shirt. But yes.
I love it. I love the sweater. Great.
Thank you.
And it is creating a new tradition and new routines, and going with the flow. You're in it 1 minute and not the next, and be okay with showing yourself grace and compassion, right?
That's right. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I also think it's kind of interesting because a lot of people that I've been talking to just don't have that same energy and spirit this year. And it might be just something in the veil. Who knows? This is the first year that I didn't put a tree up. Well, when Joey passed, I didn't have one for 2 years, and then I had one, and then I just couldn't find it in my spirit to do it this year. So I just didn't.
I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I tossed my big tree to the curb. I dragged, and as I was dragging it out, somebody was asking me if I was putting a free sign on it, and then came back and got it and all the stuff that went with it, the big, huge tree, because I just don't have the same support that I did before with the big, huge tree. So I still got 2 smaller trees that I can manage and lift and do all that on my own. But I have 3 different small trees up, because it brings me joy. Still doing those things. I just haven't done any prep the way that I normally. There's no baking, no cooking, no.
Me neither.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something. It's not just us either. I've been just so many of my friends too. They're just not vibing it.
Well, the energy this year was a whole roller coaster ride in itself. So it felt like major dumpster fire, left, right, center from March, I would say end of February, March, in through to the end of April. And then there was a small bit of breathing room. And then it was just a lot of stuff coming to the surface. So secrets. And we saw that with politicians and banking and education. We've been hit with a lot of stuff. It feels like we've been holding our breaths for so long this year. So
money.
And
money
too.
Yeah, money's a big factor, Lorilei.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I saw today? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I'm delayed. Go ahead.
No, go right ahead.
Well, I was going to say what I've been seeing, and I'm trying not to be judgmental, but there's the angel tree program out there that people can, pick up a tag and support a family or just one person in the family and buy the gifts. And some of them have gone very viral because people, like the one girl that went viral, I think she did it for the right reason. She just was so excited to do it. Like, she even had a claw machine outside her house for all her delivery people. She gave away AirPods in them, and she was able to do that, right? And then I saw what's happening now is the recipients are making videos and complaining about what they received. And I went,
I saw one of those. I couldn't believe it. I was devastated. I couldn't believe what I saw. This young girl was complaining about the free things that she got. And I couldn't believe it.
But is the one kind of making an icky for
no, there's lots.
Lots.
Mm-hmm. I've seen about 4 not looking for them. Yeah. And then the one I just saw that popped up in my feed today, she just shared the woman's video. She wasn't judgmental, but the one thing she ended it with, this greatly concerns me for the Angel Tree program next year.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and again, people, I just think that's so beautiful that you, even though you, and I've seen videos of people that were really struggling, but they thought, you know what, I've budgeted some money, I'd really like to help another. The one I saw, and the woman was just ripping her apart. Like, I said, I didn't want that kind of baby swing. I wanted this $300 baby swing. How
Yeah,
dare
I
you?
saw that.
So it's not just one. It's making me kind of sad, because it may change things for people in need, right?
Yeah. She
I
was
haven't
complaining
seen
about the
anything.
Pampers too that she got.
That's the one I
was,
saw.
yeah, it was. I was mortified. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
What were you going to
Yeah.
say, Kerrilynn?
I haven't seen any of them. And I let all the kids know too, like we're rolling back to what we used to do when they were small, and we are, if we're not drawing names, and we are doing as much homemade as possible. And
That's a beautiful way
how are
to
we
do it.
divvying it up? And it just feels better when you're doing it that way anyway. There's more intention behind what you're doing, and
Yeah.
makes everybody think on how they can be creative and show up for one another.
Yep, I love
Plus,
that.
it lasts longer usually too. Yes, it's like baking, right? And then every time, I was talking to another one of my close friends, she lives in Atlanta, Georgia, but she says, I'm really practical. So when my mom was still alive, her dad had already passed. Her mom said to her, I really want to buy you something special. And she said, well, I could use a new vacuum. We were having this conversation privately, and her mom said, I know, but like, what would you really, really like? She said, no, I really need a vacuum. So her mom bought her a vacuum. And then my friend told me, she goes, every time I use the vacuum, I got a smile on my face because I needed it. And it made me think of that conversation, because I think her mom passed away shortly after that. But it was just, it was what she wanted and what she needed, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice. Christmas, I don't know. It's the materialism has grown exponentially over the years, and I think people are tired of it. I just think people are tired of it.
I don't get those stuff on my news. I get homesteader stuff on mine. So I get all the people making the orange slices and homemade.
Oh, I get that too.
I'm not saying that you don't. I don't have those reels showing up where it's shocking to me. This is the first time I'm hearing those.
Yeah.
Up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, people are doing reaction videos on it. Like they're doing those reactions.
But that just adds to it, does it not?
It does. It does.
Yeah. It worse.
It does.
It does. I wasn't looking for it, just kind of, because if I'm busy doing something, I'm usually watching YouTube and it'll start to play. So I hadn't heard of it either till about a week or two ago. And you're right, it does add more energy and attention to the whole situation. And then we got to remember, right, with media as well. You're right. You made a really good point, Kerrilynn, that maybe it is.
How is that teaching them gratitude? How is that teaching them appreciation?
No, but maybe it's only a few, but because people are reacting to the videos, right? It's making it look like there's so many. Maybe there really is only a few, and that's nice to hear. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Well, the same weird thing happened when the government shut down in the US, and everybody was doing these food stamp videos, and they were just pervasive. They were everywhere. Like either complaining about the fact that they stopped, and then when they started again, they would go shopping and show, cartons and cartons of food that they got from the government. And it became this whole big nightmare it turned into. It's all the sharing. Absolutely.
Well, it's kind of nice, like I think what you said, Kerrilynn, to get back to the place of gratitude and to get, what that Spirit gave me this years ago, and it's what you perceive becomes what you believe, and it becomes your reality. But also, right, like energy attracts like energy on this planet. So even though people may not be quite in the Christmas spirit, and like maybe homemade gifts or the, getting away from the commercialism, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good shift, right? To remind what we have.
You start with one thing and pay for the coffee for the guy in the lineup behind you, or hold the door open for the next person coming through the door at the store, and just see what happens from that. But those little things, when you start noticing on that frequency, then it just contributes more and grows for sure.
Yeah. Like this year, my best friend and I, we always exchange gifts and bake cookies, and we decided we're just going to bake more cookies and give a less expensive gift. So,
that's nice.
And we were both on board.
Oh my gosh. I would love, if anybody wants to Drop off cookies.
If you were in the States,
a bit of a meal.
Mhm.
Bit of a meal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
those things, that is a gift in itself. Like
Yeah.
those sorts of gifts are so huge, and the way that things have shifted with cost, you know,
Yes.
it's expensive to do baking. It's expensive to
Oh yeah.
do those kind of meals, and that is a gift in itself. So
I mean, a bag of walnuts. Look at the topic we got off to. A bag of walnuts is like $10. So we're making 2 cookies with walnuts and 3 without, because we're trying to like be smart about it. But we love baking and giving, and then I give the cookies to my family, and it's
Well, I
it's a
usually
lot
make.
of things.
Yeah, my eldest usually always loved it. Was that peanut butter marshmallow square? Have you ever seen with the colored
Ooh,
marshmallows? And I don't put the
yeah,
coconut in. And I was looking for just little bags of chocolate chips, and they were like $7.50.
they are.
No name.
They are.
And I thought maybe we're not going to make that this year, but I will bake some things because I still have my eldest son and his fiance, and I always send them a tray of baking. If I lived closer to you, I would share it with both of you, because we share a lot of food from our house here. Because then you're 2 of you eating, like you make a big whatever, right? And you can only freeze so much. So usually give to our neighbors. We have wonderful neighbors.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, a tin of cookies is full of love. Like I love getting cookies from people. It's great. I love doing that. Hi,
I got a parcel in the mail from someone. Hi, Mort.
Hi, Mort.
It was all snacks. I sent her a message and I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You know me so well. Snacks.
Snacks. Yes.
And even when we start talking about paranormal investigations, I know all about that. Like the equipment is important and our intention is important.
Snack lady.
All that stuff. But the first question I ask is, what do you want for snacks? I'll bring the snacks, and we're ready with the snacks. Food.
Awesome.
Food's important.
So, it is.
It's a love language in its own.
It absolutely is. And of course, we wish everyone a blessed and beautiful holiday season, whatever.
However they choose to celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I was so excited to talk to you guys about this topic because it's kind of been bothering me more so in the past year, because I discovered grief bots. And that triggered, like, I had spirit talking to me, and it was like, you got to talk about this. And of course, you 2 guys popped right in my brain. And I think grief bots is a great place to start. Hi, Michael.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not familiar with that, grief bots.
I'm going to show you guys a clip that kind of explains what it is. But when I discovered grief bots, Michelle and I were doing a conspiracy show that I absolutely love doing with her. And I mentioned it during the show, and nobody really had heard about them at that time. I don't think they're widely possible, and I'm very happy. Not possible. They're widely popular, and I'm glad that they're not taking speed. I think some folks are using them, but I'm going to show you a clip first. Okay. What they are, but I'm going to read real quickly what they are too. So grief bots are AI-powered digital simulations of deceased individuals, and they are trained on their personal data, like text, social media, and voice, to mimic the personality and communication style, offering a new way to the bereaved to talk, in quotes, to lost loved ones for comfort.
This is a Black Mirror episode.
It's a Black Mirror episode. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So what it's supposed to do is offer comfort closure to the and allow them to like process their emotions and feelings. It's called much like the empty chair technique. So like supposedly you're supposed to talk to like an empty chair and pretend your loved one is in it. It's kind of like that, but way worse, right? So there are ethical concerns that have been raised concerning consent, number 1, emotional dependence, data privacy, and potentially distorting memories or hindering real healing. So it was popularized, what you just said, by Black Mirror episode called Digital Ghosts.
And that didn't end up well.
Didn't end up well. Exactly. So, they want to put some safeguards on them, but I mean, I just explained what it was, but I want to show this quick, short, share screen. And I liked what she said about this. So let's give a listen.
Here's something that no one is asking. What happens when AI knows everything about you? Your voice, your face, your rhythms, your silence. And what if that data doesn't die with your body? In 2024, people started building grief bots, AI versions of the dead that could text you, call you, even argue with you like they used to. But what if that's not just a comfort tool? What if it's a trap? Some esoteric systems say that your soul print isn't just spiritual. It's fractal, measurable, and mimicable. So, if a machine learns you well enough, could it simulate you and could it house you? Now imagine this, you die, your voice lives on, your personality lives on, but your real soul still trapped in astral, confused, splintered, pulled towards the echo, because your family keeps talking to the ghost, feeding it, believing it, and belief, as we all know, is a power. So here's the real question. When you go, do you want to be remembered or do you want to be reconstructed? Here's something that no one...
I mean, that's a great question. So what do you ladies think out of the gate about these grief bots?
You want me to go first or you want to go, Kerrilynn?
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
So now this is just my thoughts, but I think what we forget is we're having a human experience here. We never die. We're an everlasting soul, an energy, whatever it is. But I always, when I'm teaching and working with my clients, and it's hard for us to wrap our brains around because I call it spiritual amnesia. We don't remember the lives we've lived, where we've really come from. Some people do, but many don't, right? So when that sounds more like, to me, a human perspective of what could happen to your soul. Your soul, I really doubt that is, I mean, unless it hasn't crossed over maybe, but if it's, and I know I'm using terminology that people, it's going to sound weird, but you're back home is what I'll call it. You're no longer, it's like you've taken on a role, you've taken on the human role. I'll use myself, for example, of Lorilei. This is who I am here. Right. And yes, I do have my soul within me. But when I go back there, I'm not Lorilei anymore because I've been a gazillion other things in different lifetimes and what have you. So I have a hard time believing. It's a good question and it's a good thing to talk about. And also, have I seen loved ones that won't leave because family is so distraught? And because I've seen souls hang around a bit. But you go ahead, Kerrilynn, and see what your thoughts are. Because I think she's looking at it from a human perspective.
The person in the video, posing the question. So are they saying the spirit is attached to the bot, the grief bot, so that soul is attached to the way that it's coded? That's
a what if.
I don't personally. I don't think. But
yeah, I don't necessarily feel that could happen, but it potentially could if we believe in tulpas as well too. And so if we all put that energy into it, can we create that as well too? So the other question that I had, my initial question that I had when I was watching the clip was the consent part. Could somebody else tap into social media? I've had imposter accounts, thousands of them, like an incredible gross amount of imposter accounts created to scam people. So is that possible? And we have these podcasts and YouTube and all those things where people can access it and do things, whatever they want. So, the same with the grief bots. And I think that's such an icky, slippery slope. Everyone needs counseling and therapy, but finding the right one sometimes takes a while. That is a real human being to have that interaction. And we're watching more and more reports of just having a friend that is AI, and people having mental health breakdowns, like psychosis happen from it. Taking someone who's vulnerable in their grief journey and going down that road. Next, they'll be marrying grief bots.
I think
getting remarried and having remarried, like,
you know what concerns me too is
all bad.
this could happen in any day and age with anything, like you said. We've got deep fakes, we've got all kinds of things like that, right? But I use an important word, Kerrilynn, taking advantage of people who are vulnerable. So again, with the way things go and human nature, and I'm not trying to be negative, we can have sometimes the most wonderful, amazing things created, and it's human nature. Someone's going to use it for something that's not good.
Absolutely.
But the other thing is, I don't know why somebody, if they had actually seen that particular Black Mirror episode, would feel like, oh, geez, we need to create a grief bot, because that episode did not end well. It did not end well at all.
Yeah, I saw that. They charge, and for the app, and as someone who lost someone, and of course you too, Lorilei, this hit home with me in so many different ways. Real quick, first, I couldn't watch a video of Joey, my husband.
I still can't watch one of Justin.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly. Pictures, okay. Pictures, I was okay. Couldn't watch a video. I would fall apart, literally fall apart. It was too real, too alive. So, we've already got that emotionally, the people that grieve, to deal with that. So just imagine a bot that you're having a conversation with, that's answering you, that knows enough about you due to social media and AI. We don't trust AI yet. It's often wrong. It's got a creepy edge to it as well, in terms of what it can access in the spirit realm. I don't know if it's potentially demonic. I don't know if it's angelic. We don't know enough about it yet. The realms that reach. The one quick thing that concerns me about that is because there have been written articles of Google, especially, have written them about how quantum computers are now able to access multidimensional levels. So if
they don't know what they're reaching out to either. That's part of the problem.
That's my exact point. Exactly.
Well, the other thing, though, it was something we were just saying, and now I almost lost that train of thought. Sorry, if I keep talking, I'll probably come back. But I don't agree with the fact about the AI stuff, right? It'll come back to me as we're talking. That's why I put my hand up. I forget what you were saying, but what, AI is only as smart as the people who are programming it and feeding it. There's a case on TikTok right now of this girl that's out at her psychiatrist because she thought he was hitting on her. And I think what she was trying to do, there was some series a couple of years ago about who I won't say the word, the F did I marry? And it was a 50-part series, and it was a crazy story, and I believe it was real. So this girl has turned it into and the guy can't defend himself due to HIPAA rules. And then she started dealing with her AI, and the AI was calling her the Oracle and telling her how smart she was and whatever. And she's practically ruined this man's career, and he was not inappropriate in any way, shape, or form. So it's the same thing with AI. Even in that Black Mirror episode, she would get mad at that voice because so I forget what his name was in the episode. He wouldn't talk to me that way. He would argue back, and so it would start arguing back with her, and it was never enough for her because it really didn't know enough. AI, that's what it was. Anyway, come back. Sorry for talking so long. I don't believe that that AI is connected to universal consciousness. I really do not. I've told both you ladies, especially off air as well, that I work with two other close friends, and we connect on the other side. And one of the things that we've been told is that is how they are. I'll see the powers that be are trying to figure out how we do what we do to connect to the other side. But I could take you, Kerrilynn, I could take Bish, I could take Julie, all of us, each one of us does it differently. And could we give you something programmable to put into AI to actually tap in and do what we do? No, because I could be wrong, but I don't think AI is connected to universal consciousness like we are as humans.
Oh, it's not yet. Absolutely agree. Yet. Kerrilynn, what say you?
Oh, I wanted to avoid it. I think people should avoid it. It's especially the emotional part. You're asking this program to have emotion. So it doesn't. It's like you said, it's giving you what you want, and are you going to get what you want? And it's not going to give you the touch, the smell, the comfort, really, in the way that you are most wanting it.
And
So
energy.
the energy,
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. Mish said, I feel AI has black goo within it, and black goo is supposed to be this entity in and of itself. Like, you'd have to go look it up to see you could have a show on that. Some people do believe that, especially because of what CERN is doing. If you look at what CERN is doing, the Large Hadron Collider, you know, it's to me very interconnected, because they're opening up portals into other dimensions, which I absolutely believe exist. And I think the potential for AI to get to that place, Lorilei, where it's tapping in to human consciousness. Look at the brain chips that Elon is doing. He's already tapping into human consciousness. And
is he tapping into the brain waves of somebody's brain?
But isn't it all connected?
I don't think universal consciousness, in my belief, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not, that's something that connects every living, breathing thing on this planet that's here and beyond. Okay. Now we're dealing with a machine. A machine is never, I just don't believe, like, we can go back to the days of Star Trek with Data. He was so human-like, but the only thing he craved so badly was to be able to feel true emotion. Like, and I've been saying this off air, like, what's so scary about, even if we go into things like RoboCop way back in the day, or we're seeing these dogs that are becoming over in Asia that they're using as part of their soldier military program. But where I go with this is, and maybe I'm wrong, the thing when you're dealing human to human, and say there's a scenario where it's a police officer and somebody else, and it's a really high energy situation, and the officer may have the choice to either go with the rules or have some empathy and compassion and maybe just a warning. Right. And I'm not talking about serious crime here. I believe with AI and with the machine, the only thing it's got to defer to is what it's either been programmed with or logic. I don't think it can have empathy. I don't think it can have true compassion or love. It could tell you those things. It could research about these things, but I just don't think it's tapped in. I don't, and I could be wrong, but.
No. I agree wholeheartedly. It's not there yet. That's my concern. And you brought up Data, which was a great example, because he got his feelings. They were able to give him that down the road. That's what worries me, is what's it capable of doing? And the grief bot, to me, is wrong on so many levels, because let's talk about mediumship, okay? So a lot of us love to come to you ladies and get readings done, right? And you ladies can tap in and talk to our loved ones and tap into their essence and so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is going to stop a lot of people from doing that? Because A, it's going to be cheaper, let's face it. They're just going to buy an app. And B, they're going to be able to program this app to do and say whatever they want, even though it's not real and not genuine. How do you think this is going to affect, if at all, mediumship?
Nada.
I wasn't gonna. I was ready to jump in there, but I was talking for so long, especially and Kerrilynn was being so polite. No, you can never ever, like I tell you, and I would call it a session I do with a client, and I know you do too, Kerrilynn. And I'm not the type of psychic or medium or energy healer or even teaching and mentoring that when 60 minutes hits, that's it. 60 minutes, that's it. No, we're done. You know what? If somebody needs a little more, and I know Kerrilynn does the same thing, and many people I know that do this. Do we do it all the time? Sometimes we just can't. We got back-to-back readings, but we don't leave people hanging on a sentence. And it's about love, and it's about, supporting that person, holding space for them. If they can, maybe hearing those last messages that maybe, like, I can't tell you from even working in palliative care and end stage of life as a nurse, how many people that they had disagreements or whatever they had, and the person that had the disagreement with the person that's leaving this world didn't have that end stage conversation. and they're carrying such terrible guilt. And how many times have you heard it, Kerrilynn? Is my loved one angry with me? Are they angry with me because I didn't do this? Or
so I don't necessarily get that phrase. I will ask them if I have permission to forgive myself, because here's the things that I did. Here's why I'm needing to be accountable. Here's how I'm trying.
You're talking from the spirit side, though. You're talking
from the spirit side.
I was talking from the human side.
Oh.
That took me a minute because I'm going, that's really evolved if you're getting, and then I realized, no, that's from the spirit side. Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. I was speaking. So that's kind of interesting that Kerrilynn's telling you from the spirit side. And I've had that too, versus human beings I have run into that are coming for a session. And that's what we do, I think, with this work is it's about helping people to heal.
Absolutely.
Right? And to process and feel supported and heard, because I really believe we can all connect with the other side. Right. Now, some of us do it from right from the moment we're born, and we do it. But I also think that little children, very young children, especially up to about 3 or 4, they can clearly see spirit and connect with it. So we were all little children once. So I'm not saying everybody's going to be running around doing, you're going to be a high powered medium. That may not be where you're called to be working in that field. Right. And we have 2 choices as humans here: service to self or service to others. And there's no judgment about what road you choose. But we all have an intuitive side. We just don't call it that. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's good to know the whole grief bot thing. And I think it's just going to be a phase unless they evolve it, change it, make it more appealing. I don't know. It remains to be seen. It's only a year old and it's new technology. So I guess we just have to stick around and wait and see.
Do you wonder if I highlight this? Because Michelle's right. It's about compassion. I think it's about that human emotion to emotion.
Bring up what you want. Bring up any comments that you want.
And please tell me if you guys think I'm wrong. Go ahead, Kerrilynn. Sorry.
I just, there's more to a session than that, like how we approach it. And there is no rule book or ethical rule book for us either. There is no rule book, and there are some of us that do not, or not us. There are people that do this work that should not, and there are those that are doing it that aren't doing it well. And there is the charlatans in this as well too. I feel a big part is educating people as to the best way to do this and choosing the right person for you and what your intentions are and what you're needing from that session, and how then being able to choose that right medium. A grief bot is not going to be able to tap in at this point, it seems, on the different multi-dimensional layers of a session that a medium can. So a medium is going to tap in on different levels. They can see past lives. They can tap into future stuff that's coming in, and ethically not giving somebody the playbook and the choices that they need to make ahead of time. And again, I personally don't work that way. I don't, want that person dependent on their loved one on the other side, because they're the ones still living and needing to make choices, like a choose your own adventure story, to have consequences and amends for the choices that they make, right? So they too on the other side know that they are only allowed to intervene to a point, because the person here has to be responsible for their soul journey.
Right.
So the grief bot thing is just really not cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm actually floored, because I never watched Black Mirror and I'd heard about it for years. So I finally started watching it. So I seen that episode about 2 months ago. And as soon as I saw it, I went, oh my God, this isn't going to turn out well. I really did. And at the end of it, what happened? Like that was even in the future. And I don't want to give away the ending for people, but if you've watched that episode, that did not end up well in any way, shape, or form, nor did the person who actually participated with, if you want to call it a grief bot, her friend pushed her. Her friend signed her up for that to get into it. And
that was what I was picking up too, where like if it's an outside person stealing it and doing it, then what harm happens? And is it like some graveyards and cemeteries where the whole line of family goes and then there's nobody around to take care of it? So who's going to be in charge of what happens after,
Down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When everybody's gone, or you don't have it anymore, or
Plus,
you fail to pay for your monthly fee. What happens?
Exactly. Yep. That's a good point too. Now, Ashraf made a statement here that kind of got me, because he said, human frequency can stop electric flow and even hack your Wi-Fi, so AI can't. Now, I've been recently learning a lot about the human biofield, and this is going to be a big topic for a lot of folks. They're either going to disagree or agree. But the human biofield has been hacked for decades already. It already has an IP address, and that IP address is 802.15.16 or .16. If you Google that, you will see that it is a government program. And I know it sounds wacky conspiracy theory, but believe me when I tell you it's not. The government has been hacking our human biofield for decades. And again, 802.15.6. You'll see that that is the actual IP address of the human biosphere. Now, if you look at smartwatches, things like that, these things are already hacking our biosphere through Wi-Fi, through 5G towers, now 6G coming out. And you could have a whole show on that, on the human biosphere. And like I said, I've been intrigued with that, been researching it a lot. I don't want to jump the gun and start talking about it until I'm, comfortable and somewhat well-versed in it. But what I've been watching is very, very concerning to me. A, because it's been going on for decades. And B, because it's called the Internet of Bodies. I'm sure you guys heard of that. It's our wearables. It's called IOB. You again, write that down, Google it. If you want to learn more, IOB, Internet of Bodies. We had started with the Internet of Things, which is shopping online and all that other good stuff. And we're moving into where people are finding out about IOB, and it's not good. So all of our healthcare records, our wearables, our wireless devices, ear pods, things like that, all run on the Internet of Bodies. So his statement rang true, because the human frequency has already been hacked for decades. Now, what's to say that, and I'm just asking you guys to open your mind to the possibility of this happening even more moving forward. This has been a government program hid from us, and now it's being unearthed and people are learning more about it. And it's a major concern to me when it comes to AI, because I see it heading, evolving.
Okay, so the thing is, right, your toaster, if you got a smart toaster, smart TV, smart whatever. But the big thing, and I'm hearing this from Spirit right now, is do we choose to live our life in fear? Do we choose to understand that we are incredible as human beings? And I don't mean from an egotistical perspective. Again, I said that at the beginning of the show. What we perceive becomes what we believe, and it becomes our reality. Human beings are capable of shifting timelines without even realizing we're shifting timelines. We are capable of healing ourselves. We are capable of so many things. So it's an interesting perspective, but when you have, it's been going on for decades and decades and decades. You can you don't have to consent to it. You certainly can go along with what the person in the chat had just said. Forgive me, I don't see your name. I apologize. But that's what I'm hearing from Spirit. Are you here? Are you going to, I think you said, Kerrilynn, earlier, like your soul journey. Are you here for that? Or do we live in fear? I think that knowledge is empowering, right? So I think if you believe that you can be hacked into, that you can have all this stuff happen to you, and then you go to a place of fear. Fear is a very paralyzing, low vibrational emotion. It's necessary, right? But when you are in fear, there's nothing. The human brain can't do much else. Same thing if you're in chronic pain. And I learned this trick a long time ago. If you've got really bad pain, they've even got a code for that's been hacked. I've seen the declassified documents. But you can take your fingernail. I'm not telling people to do this. Look it up. You've got a really bad pain. And if you push hard enough, say on your fingers or somewhere else, your brain can't focus on both pains. So where I'm going with this is, I think we are a lot more powerful and a lot more capable, so that when we have this information out there, it becomes very scary. So we have the choice. We have free will. Do we want to live in fear and believe that we can be controlled and we can be hacked into? And I'm not talking about being naive. I just believe that our minds are so powerful. You learn about it, you understand what it is, and then start working within your body. Start doing research yourself. What can you do to stop it if you're that concerned? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm not really that concerned. And I don't mean that just...
Yeah, no, I hear you. The thing that, first of all, I agree with you. Knowledge is so empowering. And I think that's what went wrong in 2020 and the years following, was the suppression of this knowledge based out of fear. They wanted us to be in fear constantly. And they used what's called the Hegelian dialectic, which is they create a problem, they wait for a reaction, and then they come up with the solution. Now, when it comes to body hacking, it's not based out of fear. It's based on, we need to know this. This is our bodies that are being violated. The governments have no right to do this. If it's indeed being done, which I think I've seen enough proof to say allegedly, okay? But if you go on the internet and you look up that IP address on a government website, you will see that they admit to all of this stuff. If you dig deep, you will see
I believe
all the patents for it and everything. It's already happening to us, and it's happening against our will. It's happening for decades. That's why a lot of people have autoimmune diseases, and they don't know why, because we're being hacked. Our bodies are being hacked. Anyway, the thing that concerns me is I don't want people to be look this up and learn about it out of fear, but it needs to be.
That's what people will do.
But it needs to be stopped, and the only way it can be stopped is when everybody is educated about it enough where we begin to protest it and they stop doing it. Now, you said you could control, like your own body and not give into it and not go along with it and use your own vibration and energy. Unfortunately, that's not going to work because this thing is so pervasive. There are 5G towers all over the place. I mean, yeah, sure, you could probably do some good work to keep, use your root chakra and protect yourself and all that good stuff. But this needs to be stopped on a governmental and a global basis. Kerrilynn, this is a lot, I know. What do you think about the whole body hacking?
Listening to the two of you, I was like, I'm Joaquin Phoenix in Signs with the Kiss hat on my head. I don't even own wireless earbuds. Half the time I leave my phone at home at the grocery store because I don't want to be bugged. I'm like, can I be as least tapped out as possible? Do what I need to do. So, but I'm hearing what you're saying as well too. I don't know. I feel like I agree. Are people able to? Has there been a history of people being able to group together to stop any of that kind of stuff? Right. So where is my energy best served is how I would look at it.
I love that.
How is my energy going to be best used? And I have a bit of a attitude about a lot of things.
That's how I feel.
Not today. Thank you very much. F off with love.
And they've been doing it forever. We're just finding out. So they've been doing it anyways. I'm not saying that we don't stand up against it. What I'm saying is to remind humanity, and we know this over the last 5 years, what's happened. I can tell you all of us were terrified in the beginning of all this, and we did some research. We learned about it. We figured out what we wanted to do. It didn't stop it, and it's not going to stop it in the future. But the thing is, I think what you just said, Kerrilynn, and you said it so beautifully, it's, do I want to put my energy into it? It's been going on for a long time. So the only thing you can do is learn how to protect yourself if you're worried, or carry on with life because they've been doing it.
Where I find it interesting in observation is watching some conversations where people can say that they are very empowered and we've got timeline shifts and we can change all this, and then go into, and now we got this happening in fear mode, and how do we handle this? So either you are stepping into it and shifting timelines, or you are this, or
and I have to say, that's why I love these kind of conversations, because it's not fear mongering, it's education and alternative methods of dealing with things, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there's a lot of people out there that are sick and they don't know why. And, maybe they can look these things up and see what they can do to protect themselves. So it's like, we need to have these conversations. That's what it is. We need to be able to know if these things are happening and what can we do about them.
You can only have a conversation with people who are going to have a rational conversation with you.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because the majority,
you cannot have that conversation with people who are sleepwalking and okay with the comfort zone of fear-based controlled information.
Right.
So whatever we are needing to do to and we can only hold space for those people and be in charge of ourselves, right? And people are scared of the word power. People are scared of being empowered, because it also means accountability. So every thought, word, deed, and action, they will have accountability for. So for some people, that can be debilitating in itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to say, I didn't think you were fear mongering, Kerrilynn. You know what it is, though, and it's human nature, right? Because people get scared. They're in their own, a lot of people don't even leave their own backyard, and then when they hear this, right, it's scary sounding. Do I think I just mentioned in generalities, I haven't done a lot of research on this, okay, but I know they've been hacking our biofield forever. They have the voice of God technology that'll make you feel like you're thinking your own thoughts. I mean, there's so many things out there, and I agree with you, being aware of it and learning about it. I love what Kerrilynn said about, you can only really have those kind of conversations with people that are open to having them in a good space. And even if you don't agree, they say, I'm sorry, I'm going to agree to disagree, but I want to hear what you have to say. And the other person hears you out. You see what I'm saying? So even if we put it out there, there are always going to be people out there that are going to try and shut it down.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We are still, even though we're in 2025, we are not that far out from when we were in like the dark years and lockdown, and there are so many people that are still in PTSD mode from that time. So
that's so true, Kerrilynn, and that's why I go out of my way to invite guests on that talk about shadow work and trauma healing and all this stuff, because I know what that has done to the planet. You can feel it, the fear, the anxiety, and anything we could do to help. That's how I look at it. Any conversation that we could have to help people move out of fear and move into healing is gold.
And that's what I meant by that big statement I made, is to remind people that we've never even learned about the potential. Power isn't a good word. Potential that we have as human beings. That I'm trying to remember, I came across an example, it'll come to me probably sometime during the show, of somebody completely healing themselves, didn't even mentally plan to do it. And I forget, I'll tap in to see if I can remember what it was, but it was mind blowing that they weren't aware of energy and frequency and vibration and what. But that's what I'm saying. The potential is there. Now, are we all going to be able to tap into it and say, yeah, I know how to do this? No, but in being aware of what's out there, we can do what we can, right? Have these conversations with people that are open to have the conversations. But then there's 8.4 billion people out there. There are lots of answers out there to take a look, see what they did back in the day. Like, I'm still giggling about when it became a big trend in the last 5 years, in particular, earthing. That's taking your shoes and socks off and putting your feet in the ground and grounding. It's been around for thousands of years, right? Now, I'm not saying that's going to fix it, but what I'm saying is somebody thought this is a great thing to put out there. It's a brand new healing technique. No, it isn't. It's been around for thousands of years. And I just think that by being aware of it is great. But I also think that we have it within ourselves to find the answers.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree. So
you make one good viral TikTok about it, and then away you go.
Right.
You'll win the TikTok award and everything. Because it really is true. Like the TV, I didn't even know that there was TikTok awards, but there is.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, there are. Not making that up. See?
Did not know that.
You're
Wow.
welcome. Learn something.
Kerrilynn,
new,
we
right?
can't be on TikTok because they don't think we're 13 years old yet.
I know, it's crazy.
We got kicked off in October because we didn't meet the age requirement.
Oh, jeez. What do they give you? Like a piece of paper or?
No, we got our broadcast. We were broadcasting on Thursday night, and Michelle Wilfong is the mod for my channel where I run it. And she goes, "What the heck's going on with TikTok?" And I go, "I don't know. We're almost 3/4 done." And so I go and check it. And I thought you have to click if it's 18 years and older. And I always do. So I thought that's right. What it is. But I appealed it and it came back and the violation was basically, however they worded it, that you don't meet the age requirement to stream live on TikTok, which is 13.
Kerrilynn, what do you win for a TikTok award? What do they give you?
I don't know, but there are TikTok awards. So I was kind of fascinated by it. I was fascinated by it.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy.
But you don't need to have a television show with a network anymore. You just have to have that hit, where a reel that goes viral or your TikTok or Instagram, any of those things or YouTube and away you go. TV doesn't have as much power as it does anymore. It really is that control of us. To be honest, like you can have those paranormal reels that kind of go viral, but there's still like the kitten videos make even more hits than some of these conversations do. So, it may be a slow burn, helping people not be sleepwalking. But the more of us that are standing who are taking control of our path, understanding our own healing journey and just mirroring to people, the right people will see us at the right time that they are needing it. Yes. And then they will do the same thing somewhere else. Synchronicity. Yeah. And I feel that's why most of us, like we all care about each other, like our network, we've got our hosts and stuff. And when we talk, I'm sure that you notice it. And I would love to hear your feedback on it. Most of our close friends live far away because we're anchors of light for a reason. So we're anchors of light in these places to help shift the frequency and mirror to people. And it just is, we're ready, like, we need somebody to go slow down Seabiscuit because we're ready for everybody to catch up to us. And they're still running on like tortoise in the hair mode. So, I just think sometimes we have to just stay patient and not get caught up in that frequency of fear with other people.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
I say that I don't agree to that. And I do say, and you can F off with love and thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Transmute back into love. Love, 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 love. Thank you.
I'm bringing up all this stuff because it all relates to spirit and how it affects.
I didn't know about sleep bots.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I didn't know about it.
Yeah,
I didn't know at all.
Good. So 2 quick statements. After a record year of data breaches in 2025, cybersecurity experts warn that the threats will escalate, which of course in 2026, and they are driven by AI-powered attacks. They're called advanced deepfakes, which we all heard of, and there's a new risk called digital body snatching, where hackers target personal data from wearables, as we talked about, which brings up health concerns and a plethora of other stuff. Question: can AI-created content blur the lines between what's true when we speak to spirit and what's not? Can these images and videos spark a wave of disbelief within the paranormal community? Take it away, ladies.
Through the equipment that we use or through the mediums? Like
through all of it. So you've got digital body snatching, which is a thing now, and it's going to be even more prevalent in 2026. So can the images that we're seeing that are deep fakes, the videos that we're seeing, spark a wave of disbelief in the paranormal community? Because let's face it, you get up there, ladies, and you make these beautiful videos and share them. about whatever topic, in mediumship or paranormal, high strangeness, whatever. Every time we see a video now, we look at it and go, is that real? Is that AI generated? So like, do you see the evolution of it getting better and better, where we can't tell the difference between a digital Kerrilynn or a digital Lorilei? Do you think this is going to affect? Go ahead.
So I had Snipe on late October. Sorry, I think it was the last time I had Snipe on. So 6 nations investing paranormal experiences encounters. So they wanted to showcase a new video submission for a contest that they were having for people to be able to win an opportunity to investigate with them. And their show is on APTN. So they played the video, and it was funny as all get out. I was leaking tears. I was laughing, and it was all made by AI, and it looks very real. The people look real as they're moving through it. It was, you really, you could kind of tell you're questioning, is it, isn't it? But it was all AI, this submission that they had. And which what I thought was great. Most of the people that I connect with that do investigations, or from my own perspective, understanding how the equipment works, having multiple different types of equipment that work from different frequencies. So not affecting us, I feel, during an investigation. So how it's presented online would be coming. So again, that comes to integrity, your own personal moral and ethical code, and the reputation that you build for yourself. And then the other stuff, I think, taking with a grain of salt. And if they're not able to back up and show from a different perspective using different equipment how it's made, then running with that question of how it works. And to be honest, a lot of paranormal investigators don't really understand how their equipment works. Sorry.
That's true.
I know that I'll get emails.
Well, the thing is, I would add to this is the stuff I went through in my previous home. I had so many people tell me it was fake, and it was real. There was no AI when I filmed what I filmed. There was no, I don't know how to use Photoshop. I had that happen all the time. So I have to agree with 100% with what Kerrilynn said. I think it, even when someone comes for a session with me, for example, I don't want to know everything. It just in the gist idea. I know everybody works differently. Yeah. But I've had people message me and say, yeah, I'd like to book a session with you. I want to know what's going on with my daughter and my daughter's boyfriend and blah, 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 blah. And I just tell them, and there's a reason why it seems like it doesn't relate, but it will. And I tell them, you know what, you may want to find another person to work with, because could I go into your daughter's energy field and her boyfriend? Yes. But will I? No. Now that's not a law, but ethically, to me, that is like me going across the street and trying all the doors until I found one open and help myself to it. So I think it's very important with what Kerrilynn said, your integrity, that you strive to be honest. I mean, we're going to make mistakes. When you make mistakes, you own them. And I don't think it's the one thing that came through my mind when you mentioned this. So, and you were reading that, I was thinking, what if enough people believed it, whatever they had created with AI, and then you end up with a tulpa if it goes viral, that it never existed, like Slender Man or Thin Man. That's what I was talking.
I agree.
Good, very well. So my question is this to you both. How would you feel if one day you went on the internet and you saw a video of yourself doing a reading for someone and it wasn't you, it was AI? What would you do, and how would that make you feel?
I wouldn't be impressed. I try and contact wherever it was listed, but the thing is, I think that Kerrilynn, I haven't had the problem she has. I think I've only had a few fakers. There's only so much you can do. Like you can do what you need to do to try to get the video taken down, but it's almost like whack-a-mole, because if one person,
what if there's thousands, hundreds of them?
Well, I did. I truly did.
So there you go.
It was incredible. So again, finding the ways that I could to protect myself in the best way that I could, which is as much as I could do, and then securing the accounts that I have, and doing the double security things and all of that, notifications and everything else. But and then I still look every once in a while. I'll still do a double check to see how many accounts there are of me. And
that's stealing. That's stealing from you.
Well, yeah. So they grab all of your images and then misspell your name just a tiny bit. And then they could be that person because they've misspelled. So even though they're using all of your stuff, right?
I know I just had that problem recently, but Kerrilynn has definitely had it. And the only reason I found out, one of my regular clients messaged me and said, "Hey, do you know that you're doing astrology readings and blah, blah, blah?" I'm going, "What?" He said, "Can you send me the link?" Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. And this is the part, like the person who is doing the scamming wants money. Like, so
for money. Yeah, for money.
So they're scamming to gain. So those people, are we talking there's somebody generating the AI to make the AI help them earn money? It won't stay up long because it may be there, then come down so that they can scam the next person to get more, to keep the money flow going, right? Like I can't see AI having that conscious awareness of trying to scam people, unless I'm misunderstanding or
well,
not.
I think a deep fake is what you're talking about, right? Someone makes a deep fake of, say, me or Kerrilynn, and then they film it, and it's you or I on there. Well, first of all, we would never film a session and put it on video. That's one thing for sure.
Their intention still would be to gain something somehow, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I've it's sad because why shouldn't you film a session and put it online, because that helps other people too. And Kerrilynn, I've seen some beautiful sessions you've done on YouTube.
When I had the show with Rogers.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Which was a long time ago, actually.
Yeah. But I've seen them, and they're helpful to other humans. So, but it's just a scary proposition and something real that, that's concerning. And I hope that the geniuses behind AI, as I say that facetiously, are doing something to protect everyone.
They're going to come out with a tool that it's coming, that's going to be able to detect whether it's AI or not. And my rule of thumb is, what us as the 99% are made aware of, or what we know of, those that are in power that create these type of things are probably at least 50 to 75 years ahead of what we're even aware of. So again, it's good to be knowledgeable. I think it's good to be aware of these things. And this is something I've been saying a lot to a lot of people, especially off air. Your energy is precious, and only you know yourself best. And you get to choose to decide where and whom you want to share that energy with. So, I mean, if it's absolutely ruining your career or something, obviously you're going to have to put more energy into it, or like be aware of it. Like Kerrilynn said, she still checks from time to time, but she doesn't need, you don't have to be checking 10 times a day, because then you're really putting a lot of energy into it.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, that'll ruin your day for sure. Good Lord.
It put me, I almost had a mental health breakdown.
I remember.
Oh, I believe it.
It was so it was
bad.
relentless. It was relentless. My phone was blowing up consistently. I was getting emails from people saying, I'm looking forward to my session on Sunday, and I'm like, I don't work on Sunday. Then they're sending me like a screenshot of the e-transfer they sent, and I'm like, did you see that this says Cairo on it? Like that you sent it to Cairo? Do you feel like I'm from Cairo? So again, it's about educating people, having discernment. I personally, whether it is Pollyanna or not, trust that those who are also coders are also working as diligently to have something counter to whatever that may be.
Right.
And
because they're not only stealing your money, they're stealing a piece of you as a person too.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
And that trust.
I really trust those. Yeah, I was just going to say, I trust that those that I'm meant to work with, if they're meant to work with me, we will find one another. And again, I hear what you're saying, and it's important for people to hear about these type of things.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we've only got so many hours in a day. And like I said, I really do believe that your energy is precious. So, I mean, if like you said, it was terrible when you went through this, you found a solution that made it better. So, but that's where I'm
so sorry, Lorilei.
It's okay. Continue. Go ahead.
I had ladies messaging me on social media asking me to send an audio clip so that they knew for sure that they were on the Kerrilynn page to make sure that they weren't getting scammed on a different page.
Mm-hmm. It was really, really, really bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
And we gotta, I don't know, and I'm not telling people how to live, but I really have trust in spirit. We all have a team around us. And I really do believe that people I meant to work with, or people that are meant to work with me, or that I meant to cross their paths, or even when something not so great happens, I try to hold space with the fact that I may not know the reason and have the grace for why it's happening, but it's happening for a reason. And maybe that is Pollyanna. I don't know. And Kerrilynn, I do look into, I hate the word conspiracy, that I prefer truth seeking. I like to be aware of it. And I do research on these things and have for years, but I tend to try not live within that, because then it does get you angry. It does make you feel very untrustful. It makes you feel like the world is out to get you, right? And so I think, especially with my son passing away this year unexpectedly, I really had to sit down and think, where do I want to spend my time? And how do I want to spend it? So I still feel like I don't have a problem with educating myself, but I also recognize that I'm not going to be able to change the world.
That is true. For me personally, it doesn't frighten me at all. I don't live in a fear-based
I don't think you do either.
World. I'm not afraid to die, so nothing frightens me. My children, that always works. But the thing with me is, I think that, like I said before, these conversations, getting this knowledge out there so people can stop it, because if you look at all the protests across the globe, the only way things were changed was by millions of people coming together and making change happen. And I think on a spiritual level, we are doing that with these conversations. We're bringing awareness. We're not pushing fear. We just want people to be aware so they can protect themselves and empower themselves.
One thing I want to add as you were talking, this, as it says, sometimes things happen they happen for a reason, but we don't always know the reason. And we live in a duality on this planet here. So sometimes things like this are meant to happen because it creates a reaction within people to do something that helps them for the reason for being here, is what I'm saying. So again, it's good to be knowledgeable about it, but I think and I'm not ever going to tell somebody how to live their life, but I choose to focus my energy on, again, being aware of it, but also, are we really going to change it? And I'm not trying to, we could have done a whole different show at another time, but I can tell you right now that I learned a lot in the last 5 years about Canada, including we don't have free speech. That protests, nothing happened with protests. I'm not telling people.
I know.
It's going on all over the world, and I'm glad people are peaceful about it. And the thing is, we can only shift so much. And what the problem, I think, is we can't come together and just leave all the problems aside and just agree to disagree and unite.
I mean, like the truck driver thing in Canada was deeply impactful in the States. We were shouting that stuff out every day. So I think a lot.
Did you know there was a second one? Did you know there was a second one a couple months ago?
I did see it on social media.
I didn't even know about it.
No, I saw it, I think, on Instagram. Somebody mentioned it on Instagram. But it wasn't like a big thing like the first one.
Oh, it was big. This happened a couple months ago, and my friend that's from
Canada,
lives in Mexico. She told me about it. We didn't even hear about it.
But you don't think these things are making a change? I do. I think even if 3 people get together and stand on a street corner and bitch, I think that makes change.
I think if it makes you feel better and you want to do it, go for it.
I think it changes the vibration. We're constantly putting this out into the universe, and I think it makes a change. I really believe it does. I just do. You know what I wanted to ask you, ladies? We were talking about equipment, and how long has it been since EMF detectors? It's got to be 10, 15 years, right?
More.
Longer, oh, geez. Okay. Well, do you think that and you said before, Kerrilynn, that most people don't know how they work and stuff. And I mean, I believe that to be true. I don't know. Sometimes I get creeped out by a lot of this equipment. I think that it maybe bridges a connection where it shouldn't. I think a lot more evil stuff comes through, like from what I see, than good stuff. Like spirits that are that they're not at rest, and just not good spirit, darkness. I guess I'm trying to say. What's both of your takes on all of this equipment? And every year I see new equipment out there that they're using, right?
I love it.
I pulled mine out in case we were going to use it. I know probably Kerrilynn's got hers. So what it is, I'm going to add, again, I think it's about your intention. We talked a little bit about this last night, just a wee bit. We touched on it with Ouija boards. The Ouija boards are not evil. They're a communication tool. But if you're not how to you're not going to go pick up a piece of equipment like this and not be in the right frame of mind, and then understand how to open a session, for example, and close a session and set the parameters. Yeah. So I think they're great. I don't know. What do you think, Kerrilynn? I know she has incredible tools. I have tool envy.
Do you? I have a lot. I tell my kids that it's their inheritance. The amount of paranormal equipment I have, it's their inheritance.
Got it. What do you got? Like what's
all of it?
Oh, you wouldn't believe.
And there's especially stuff that makes me laugh. Like if it's got a good, twist to it. And for the most part, it does the same stuff. A lot of it does the same stuff, but it's understanding how it works, right?
How it works, yeah.
And why it works, and the things that can influence it to give you false information or false hits as well too. So I feel that a little bit more education needs to happen with that, and then the discernment with it. I think when I first moved to Guelph, so I live in Guelph, Ontario. So when I first got here, I was looking for paranormal groups that would let me hang out with them, and a lot wouldn't because I was a medium. If I said I was a dentist, I'm here, it would be fine. So, having to do a lot of that on my own now, it's a little more acceptable. So I think having people that are sensitive as a discernment tool as well too, when you're using that equipment, understanding how the different ones work with each other, and again the intention. Like when I do the paranormal dining with the dead events, I tell everybody it's not a data research night. It is just to understand the equipment and have fun, because there's no controls that are happening in this space. They're not going to be coming back repeated to try the same experiment numerous times to see what happens.
Do you get validity when you use your equipment as opposed to when you don't? So like say you're doing a reading for someone without any equipment, and you're just tapping into your own mediumship, and then say you do that same reading with equipment. Have you done that? And if you
I don't do it either. No.
So I would say kind of yes. I'd host a lot of Victorian seances. I love doing seances. That's fun. I bring in the traditional things that were used, so the traditional tools. So I'm teaching them like how it all started, and then I move up, and we have the new paranormal equipment within the space working at the same time too. So there is a point in time where it and Lorilei will understand what I mean. You can feel them using a piece of equipment and then coming through you, and it shifts in and out. Like it's in you, then out it goes, and it's using equipment. I did the event that I did on Devil's Night on Halloween. I did a midnight seance downtown here in Guelph, and as I was sharing the information, the trip wires, which are LED lights on a thread, like a Christmas light that,
Yeah,
and
I've
so I
seen
had it
that.
wrapped around the table. But as I was sharing the information, the tripwire was lighting up behind the person who
Oh,
was receiving the message. So it was kind of cool, and it did it repeatedly with different people. So I don't know. I like having the equipment around because it's validating. It's like having 2 or 3 pieces of information getting or picking up information that I'm also sharing.
And
good.
for people that don't believe too, not that
Yeah.
you have anything to prove to anybody,
No.
but some people just, and sometimes mediums get a bad rap. They do.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, you looked me up on Facebook, you looked all my information up, you looked up on social media.
Right.
And I can tell you, I know Kerrilynn, I know I work this way in many people. Like I said, if I ask someone why are you coming to see me, I just an idea, like you come for Akashic Records, you come for whatever, right? And they'll start to give me info. And I know you'll just tell them yourself too, Kerrilynn, I don't need that. I don't need it. I don't want to know.
I have a hashtag and it says shush with love. I even made hoodies and swag t-shirts, shush with love.
Yep.
Don't talk.
And then they just keep going and going. It's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because then you
that's cute. Because people hate to be shushed. So that's cute. Yeah.
No,
Do
but
you
the equipment validates. I like that, Kerrilynn. But I would never turn on. I mean, if a client wanted me to, but with, and they really wanted me to use it, of course I would help with that. But I don't generally, I would never just pull this out and say, this is how we're going to do your session today.
No. Mm-hmm. No. And the equipment is fun. Like, I have it here. I'll grab it. Hang on.
Yeah, okay, so
art stuff on the table.
Because people are seeing stuff on TV too, right?
Oh
and
my gosh,
yeah. Everything's a demon. Everything's a demon.
Everything's a demon. Right.
And stuff that makes me laugh, I'm like, here's my money. here's my money. If that shit makes me laugh, I just
wait till you see what she has. She floors me.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, honestly, it's no different than a REM pod, but it takes off. So it picks up, it lights up, it moves across the floor.
What's the cigarette thing? You got the cigarette thing for people that smoke and that smoked. You've got like that were in the living. You've got a bunch of beverages that
bottle and beer can and all that kind of stuff. So I bring that stuff to the pub.
Do you think of a new tool that you could create and develop on your own? Like something that's not out there that you wish was, that's tech?
No, I don't know. I think that I would love to hang out. There is someone that I follow, like where I got the Slimer car, the Ghostbuster car. I really enjoy how she creates. So I don't know. I'd be open to having that conversation with her and say, this is kind of what I'm seeing I would like. But she's hitting all the right marks. Like even with like you see the dolls or the teddy bears, the Boo Bears and stuff like that light up. She added a temperature sensor to one, which I thought was brilliant. So the temperature sensor's in the belly and then it lights up if you touch it. But but you know what, Mish, even the cat balls can be influenced in a little bit of a way. Like if you, extreme temperatures from cold to hot or hot to cold can affect it. The battery could be a little wonk, when you first buy it. So really being able to understand the way that works, why it works, and having extra different pieces of equipment that are all, and there's just lots to it.
Oh yeah. Do you think that the popularity of all these paranormal shows has made this field less disingenuous to people, thinking that, that was a jump scare, that's staged? Do you think it hindered or helped? Because I think it's done both, really.
I would agree. Because that's the problem, right? In the beginning. And like, especially when we were going through, we were in my previous home and I didn't know Kerrilynn at that time. And, I'd be talking about on my shows and I'd say it can be very isolating for somebody who's going through a paranormal experience and has never been through something like that. Because I said, like, it's not like you can stand in queue or in line, say at the grocery store and have a conversation with people about it. But also, I have found this so many times that, hi, Benno, that when you get in a group of people, though, because I don't tell people what I do unless they ask. I usually don't. And you start talking about it. And I'll give you a really good example quickly. I was going to my eldest son's drag show last Saturday. and I took an Uber, and this nice young man picked me up. And we started talking, and I told him I did a podcast, and then he asked me what it was, and he told me his name. He said he was from India. Then he started telling me about all this stuff that goes on in the paranormal, depending on whether you're in the north or south or wherever, right? And I went, oh my gosh, I could sit and talk to you all night, because completely different perspective, completely different entities and experiences, right?
Oh yeah.
So again, I think it opens up the doorway. Like, would I have thought I would ever have had a conversation about the paranormal with him? No. But if somebody inches that door open, I find, in a group of people, then a few more people inch it a little further, if it comes up, and before you know it, 95% of most people, if you're in a large group, somebody's had something strange and weird happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think the shows did great for that, in helping people create community and find one another that had like-minded passions and thoughts. I think it did great that way. And again, people are moving kind of away from some of those TV shows and onto TikTok or YouTube. It's not as popular. Like it's shifting. It is shifting a bit.
What about all the self-proclaimed mediums and clairvoyants, people in this industry? And the popularity of them grew and made it so much easier because of social media, even television shows. NT, right, exactly. How do you guys feel about all these self-proclaimed? Because that's got to hurt the genuine people like yourselves a little bit. That reminds me, remember those TV commercials like back in the 80s? 1-800
Miss Cleo. Yeah, Miss Cleo. I don't know, because you know what? Like I said, I go back to living in my previous home, and I always said I never went looking for the paranormal. I've had weird and strange and spirit experiences my whole life, but what we lived through, I wasn't looking for it. I had a lot of people give me a lot of hard time when all I was doing in the beginning was trying to figure out what it was and how do I get some help here, right?
Yeah.
So I try not to call out unless it's obvious, right? I try not to call out what other people are doing. Because I do believe in karma, and I don't think karma is a punishment. I believe that what you put out there eventually comes back to you. So, and again, I'm going to repeat, I believe that the people that are meant to find me and me find them and work together will happen. I don't know. What do you think, Kerrilynn?
Well, if you think about where this all really started, if we go all the way back to even the Fox sisters, the Fox sisters were charlatans, right? It started off, but it created a movement. So there were mediums that were legit during that time period, but the bulk of them were not. So they were low income to medium income, earning a living, doing this, but it created that spiritualism movement. It was a very big part of that movement, and it has allowed me and you to be able to be who we are and do what we do. So I feel that even though it makes me have stink-eye tight butt, makes me go, what the like that. They play a role. And those people who are wanting to learn will grow away from them. So that's what I trust. I just trust that, they'll have their moment. It won't last long. And
it'll last. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's so true.
As far as the TV stuff, we also have to remember, depending on the shows, on the shows, that it's entertainment as well too. So what network they are with, who they're working with, there's an entertainment factor, and for other ones there is not. And I was very blessed. Like, it was just community programming, and they really edited in such a beautiful way, and I got to do what I wanted to do, and it was very truthful to the process. So there was and I understood the back door of it and what they needed for legalities in order for me to do my job. Yeah, so I was very blessed that way.
Oh, love that. Love that. So, looking ahead 5 to 10 years from now, what emerging technology do you predict will have the biggest impact on mediumship and paranormal research? Do you see, or have you thought about that at all?
about paranormal equipment helping. So I did an investigation with the snipe guys in the summer, and the Tesla coil, like the Tesla coil, they had that pumping, and you could feel how the energy was shifting. And even though I was already tapping in and didn't necessarily need the Tesla coil, but the Tesla coil got things moving where the equipment was picking up differently. So I think that there is some equipment that can move things for sure along, and we are evolving equipment and being able to I think it's exciting using the equipment to help those people who aren't in that same space as us as mediums.
Is that the newest tech that you've seen, or the latest tech, the Tesla coil, that excites you?
No, coil's been around for a bit.
Yeah, but it was the first time that I've been able to use it.
No, but you've seen them, right? They've been around for a while. Like that, I love to watch. I always tell people, if you want to know where I'm going to be on Friday night, 8:00 Eastern, I'll be on YouTube watching Paranormal Nightmare. And they use a lot of different. They've got a TV show, I think, but I don't know if what they show, they filmed it for the episode or not. They've been using a lot of different equipment and evolved, and they got a brand new SLS camera. And again, SLS cameras, you could do a whole show on that, right, Kerrilynn, with the issues. But it was a brand new one, and I was really surprised what it is showing. And the only reason I believe with these guys, why they do what they do and they're not charlatans, is because they usually let you in to watch live while they're investigating on Saturday or Sunday nights. And that's next week's episode that they edit with all the stuff they find. So you see what they're doing. And they got some interesting activity on this new camera, but they just didn't rely on the camera. They had other equipment with them, and there was many different things. So yes, I think there could be things coming. I don't know. Maybe there will be something with AI. I will tell you, I think AI has its place. I think, we lost Kerrilynn. Hopefully her weather's probably going to be having to go. You guys, do you remember she said her weather's really, really bad? So I guess
we're just going to hang tight now.
We're just going to hang tight. I'll finish rambling then.
Let's read some comments.
Okay, well, let me finish that thought. I was just going to say, so there could be something with AI, but I'm not going to worry about it till it comes. If it comes and it's successful, great. Okay, so you want me to highlight how we do in our show? I'll highlight new read.
Sure.
Is that okay? Like I'm telling you what to do. It's not even our show. Okay,
so she's saying it's a takeover.
Oh, she's back. Okay.
I got booted out.
We were gonna, you know what we were gonna do, Kerrilynn? I was just gonna finish my thought. Kerrilynn goes, let's read some comments till Kerrilynn comes back. So that's all we were gonna do. No big deal.
I saw that a different kind of camera that allows the face to come forward, like you see a face that comes up. So that's pretty interesting. I love developers and seeing where it goes, but I think that the developers are working hand in hand with the investigators, or hand in hand with a medium that is also investigating, and pushing those boundaries. It's really a full face, which was pretty wild. And again, but still having to understand how to use all those, because the SLS cameras, like you can get those apps on your phone with the SLS cameras where people are mapping out the legs of a chair and getting excited because it looks like something's there, but it's
Kerrilynn, are those reliable, the apps that you get? Are they, or is it better to have a piece of equipment?
No, I think that the apps are reliable as well too, and putting it to work and seeing. I used an app, asked very specific questions.
You told me about it. You told me, is it the red ghost?
Well, do you know what though? The one that I think is okay. There's a lot of people poo-poo it, so everybody has their own take on it, right? And there's one that does a voice, but that voice, I'm so neurodivergent that it's sensory overload. It just drives me for a loop. And have been with investigators where we're taking people through a place and everybody's so caught up on their app that they're not having a personal experience in the space. So I think that the apps can have their place, but remembering it's no different than a Ouija board or other equipment. You are opening a door to the other side, and what's your intention? Do you understand the boundaries, and do you know how to close it down or take care of it? It goes sideways.
Yeah, that's so true.
Offices.
So, Lorilei, you don't use as much equipment as
Well, I
Kerrilynn.
don't have anybody to investigate with up here. I would go on paranormal investigations, but I have nobody to go with. I'm not involved with the other. Yeah, you went interdimensional, Karen. But I have, like I said, I bought myself only a box. Yeah, so I don't use them that much, but I could see equipment coming in the future. That's where I was going when you went interdimensional, is that I'm not a big, huge fan of AI. We've had this conversation off air, you and I, many times. So, but it has its place and where it is. Okay, so we research for our shows. So to ask a question and get that research with the links cuts down on time than doing a wild goose chase. Doesn't mean that's all we're going to rely on, though, right? We're going to use other sources and other things. So it has its place. It's where I think people forget it's a tool as well. And again, the biggest thing that freaked me out, it was even on my old network when I used to do my show Monday through Friday years ago. My previous co-host at that time, I think we did a show on this and the Terminator movie. And at that time, I looked it up. There is actually a company, I think it's not Starlink, I forget what the name of it was in the Terminator. There is a company that does electronics like that towards the future with the same name. It kept making me think, that came first, the chicken or the egg? Did they create this company name after the movie and what it did? Or was it already there and written in? Really crazy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was going to ask you both about that, like getting dependent on these tools and not using your own innate ability. But I mean,
I would never do that. I would never do that. I don't, would you, Kerry? I don't think you ever would either.
Trust the app, use app more.
Get completely dependent on AI.
Oh, no.
For her abilities is what she said. And you said, no. Mm-mm.
See, this statement here, I think I'm on board with that. I downloaded it, and Hillbilly Herb said it. I love that. I always have to say how funny that name is. I downloaded a Spirit Box app, and once used FM frequencies, he heard a voice right away and uninstalled it. Nope, LOL. I mean,
I love it.
So do I.
I get the headphones on and the Gainesville glasses going, and I want somebody, or if I'm just, because I'll do that at the seances to give people that experience, because they're seeing it on TV too, so they have this opportunity to try the stuff that they're seeing on TV, right? So I get them to put it on, and then we're asking, can you say the name of the person who's got the headphones on? And when they hear their name being said inside the headphones, it's a moment.
Yeah,
I've done the Estes method. Somebody mentioned it in the chat with a friend of mine, Jonathan, and it was back a couple of years ago with Danilo Cavalcante. There was a major manhunt for this guy. He had escaped from jail in Pennsylvania, and his name's Jonathan. Jonathan was using his equipment and working with spirit to try and get information on things that could either help families or this case. And he'd never even been to Pennsylvania. He was way out on the West Coast in the US, and he was shown, and through the information he was given just before I participated, that there was a little hut on the river down there. And apparently the guy, when he was arrested, that's actually where he was. But we tried seeing, he had asked me if I would do it. So he was the one that wore the headphones, for people don't know, with Estes. He had his eyes blocked out, and I was asking.
I love that. That is so trippy when I see them
that was
doing
that. We didn't solve the case. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a question about that, though. So Jonathan has really great success when he's doing the spirit box. Not everybody has that. So does it come back to his frequency? Does it come back to his intention?
I agree. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I said that to him. One of the first times I met him, I said, you have such a gift for I said almost those exact words, Kerrilynn, you have such a gift for this, because most people do not receive what you receive through a spirit box. But it is about intention, about frequency. He wasn't using it for himself or to get spirits and I'm not saying that's what people do, but we've all seen it when you know something gets knocked on. Can you do it again? Can you do it again? Can you do it again? They're not, it's not trained monkeys. He goes in with love in his heart. He goes in with the intention that he's trying to help. And he also accepts that if something doesn't come through, he's not meant to hear it, right? Mhm.
And knowing how to handle what comes through, because when you're doing that sensory deprivation, other things are happening around you. It's not all just like coming through these headphones. You are starting to see other things coming towards you, even though you have that blindfold on. And are they spirits asking to be crossed over? Are they asking for help and support? And are you able to do that? And if you aren't in that moment, are you going back with someone, or is that person able to do it remotely, which is also possible, to do that support? So again, making sure that you have a support system and what your intentions are and what the game plan is if it goes sideways.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I want to ask you guys, we have a few minutes left if you guys are okay with that.
I'm good.
Okay, good.
Are you good, Kerrilynn?
You okay, Kerrilynn?
Yeah, I just knocked my tea over. So if you saw me going, ooh, it was because I spilled a little bit of my tea, getting all excited with the Ghostbuster car.
Do you have to grab a towel?
No, I'm good.
Oh,
Good. Okay. I wanted to ask you both about burnout and pressure in the digital age. So how do you, if you may not deal with this at all, but if you do, I'd like to hear an answer to it. How does a constant demand for new compelling content in the digital realm affect your mental and emotional well-being as a medium? Like, do you feel more pressure put on you? Because let's face it, you are getting a lot more exposure, which is great. But on the flip side of it, there's a lot more competition in terms of, monetary. Let's face that too. I mean, you're not doing this for free. Of course not.
but we do a lot for free. We both do.
Do a lot for free. Absolutely. But we're talking about the financial aspect of it. Do you feel more burnout and pressure to do more content because of what's happening in the digital world?
No,
and I take weekends off from social media. You know that. I've told you that, Kerrilynn, privately.
Yes.
And am I completely away from social media? No, that I do my utmost best. I'll spend Monday and Tuesday getting caught up, unless it's a major fire, and not a real fire, but a fire being have to put out right away. I try to stay away from social media and just give myself a little reprieve and a break. Seems to help. I don't know. What do you do?
The competition thing is kind of an ego thing. The competition thing, puts you in that place of you're not doing enough, good enough, and it's more shadow work, right? So I feel for my own mental health, like this week I hardly posted anything at all. So there's a little bit, but I've been working so much that I was needing that space. So I do know I do step up. I don't do a lot of TikTok videos. I don't do any of that stuff because I don't feel in competition with other people.
Exactly.
So I know what what I need to do for me. Sometimes those clips are there, and I question that too. I get it. Like when you're watching people have like all of these viral reels going and they're doing all of that stuff, and the social media platforms are pushing, like you get information, you get like evaluated with the public pages, like you haven't done enough stories this week or reels this week, or do you want to do this, and they push it, and then they don't give you any room in that algorithm if you're not doing those things. So I don't know. I just don't.
I just don't. If I feel like it, I do. If I don't, I don't. You're much busier though, Kerrilynn, than I am, and you've got a much more built up community. But I just find, because I'm doing so many different things on so many different levels, and it's not all just spiritual. If I feel like doing it, I do. And I found a long time ago that the way to survive doing this for myself was to take the weekends off.
And you have to walk your talk.
Absolutely, 100%.
You have to walk your talk. If you are teaching, this is about this, and this is how I work best, then you need to be showing up in the same way through social media. And if you are encouraging people and you have that following that is intuitively aware and sensitive enough, they will pick up when you are bullshitting through your through your stuff. So I say
that lots. I always say Go ahead,
It's a
Kerrilynn, sorry.
personal thing too. I think people, when they see me, when they see us live or like in person at events, or when they see me in person at events, it's usually some of the first things I hear. I'm funnier than they thought, and I'm shorter than they thought.
Yeah. No, and I say that lots. I try to walk the walk of the talk that I do. None of us are 100% perfect, but I think that if you try to move forward in life, no matter what you're doing, with integrity, with honesty, with truth, trying to basically go forward in love and for somebody's highest good, even if it's for your own. You're not going to be perfect at it, but and it's okay if I'm wrong. I have no problem with telling somebody if I'm wrong. I that's how I like to live my life. So I a long time ago, maybe if you'd asked me these questions, I'm talking maybe in my teens and 20s, I would have worried about measuring myself up against someone else. But now I just feel like I got to do what I got to do, right? And I can only do so much, as all of us can. And
absolutely,
it's got to be good enough.
Yeah. So let's spend the next few minutes just telling us about what you're working on, what you've got going on, exciting in your life. Go ahead, Kerrilynn. You want to say something?
I wanted to bring this up only because we have this opportunity, so we can answer it really, really quickly, maybe.
Go right ahead.
Just because we're being asked. Tips for regrounding after a particularly heavy or emotional medium session. How do you move that energy out?
That's a great question.
You want to answer it, Kerrilynn?
I think that we have all kinds of different ways. So it ends up being personal. It ends up being how you are in that moment. I do most of my sessions all of them are online or on the telephone. And so there are times where I know that it feels like it's going to be a lot, and I actually will have like a bucket of water with Epsom salts and some crystals in it, and my feet are in it while I'm working.
Nice.
So selenite afterwards, tuning forks, having a shower, doing those things to clear energetically. And then honestly, I like slog my way out that door, across the hall, onto the couch with the dogs, and and veg. If I feel like I need to have a wee cry because somebody's story was a lot, I have a wee cry, and then I ask, that.
Sometimes to have a snack to energize afterwards, because people don't realize it takes a lot of energy to do this.
Yeah, well, I something to ground. So even if it's so I saw the Scotch comment, and so I say this, which isn't always like well received when I say it, but if you need to have like a handful of chips and a gulp of a beer,
and I agree with that,
then do it, because as long as you understand that moderation, right? So a handful, like fried food, a bite, and again, I used to get in trouble from a lot of woo-woo folks, but I'd be like, a bite of a Baconator.
Oh, you know I'm exactly the same way.
Grounded and good. I didn't eat the whole burger, but something that pulls you.
And you're going to hear that from people too, that are going to tell you they can only drink purified water and only maybe be a special vegan organic diet. But that's what works for them. I'm not going to poo-poo them. But I know for me, or we've had this conversation even off air as well. Like I think that's one of the many reasons why we kind of got.
I feel the same. Back to the competition and comparison again. You are not more spiritual than me because you ride your bike to work.
Exactly.
Yes. Agreed. Agreed.
That's so true, Kerrilynn. Any other questions that we missed? Maybe because I was trying to pay attention to them, but I'm so wrapped up in listening. I don't know if there's any other questions.
The one thing I would like to say is for anybody listening, find out what brings you joy in life, right? Find out, those little moments in life. Are you being true, authentic to yourself? Are you living? Are you trying to measure yourself against other people? Because nobody's here for the same reason, right? So I think when we start within ourselves, and even those little practices of gratitude, because you get lots of people saying, I got nothing to be grateful for. Or are you laying down on the bed tonight when you go to sleep? Are you able to have a cup of coffee? Just those small things, but really starting to focus on you. Like even with, like Kerrilynn said earlier, the shadow work. We always are a work in progress in healing and learning. And I think that, only one you should measure yourself against is yourself. So from the previous day before, to try at least measure up to that, if not better. That's what I would leave people with.
Love that, Lorilei. Kerrilynn, anything in closing?
like to continue on that conversation, or where we're at, or what we got going on?
Whatever. If you've got something going on exciting you want to talk about, go right ahead.
Through next Thursday.
So next Thursday, Lorilei and I are going live on Christmas Day. If you would like to hang out with us, please let us know. We are going live from 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We are going to talk about like ghost stories or haunted stories. If you have a story that you would like to share and come on the show, you are more than welcome to come hang out with us. We are going to rotate people out, so you're on for a little bit to share your story. Then we're going to pop you off. We have some surprise guests going to come on that have been on our shows before. It's just a way for us to get together. We are going to show up in our Christmas jammies, and we're going to be eating chicken nuggets and French fries to honor Lorilai's son Justin.
Yes, that was Kerrilynn.
And we are going to be doing that as well too. So you can send an email to connect if you would like to Kerrilynn's Porch. So KERRILYNNS Porch, Kerrilynn's Porch at gmail.com, or connect with Lorilei Potvin or myself, Kerrilynn Shellhorn, on our social media platforms to say if you'd like to come on. We would love to have you. If you have a story that you want us to share but not come on, feel free to share that too, and we can do that for you.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, it will be fun. On Boxing Day, Spirit Switchboard, I have Troy Taylor coming on. It is a pre-record, but I'm going to hang out in the chat to watch it live with you guys, because I had some weird stuff happen in the room. You'll see my poker face wasn't so poker. You'll know what's happening. So he wrote a book, The Man from Beyond, Houdini Amongst the Spirits. So we're talking about Houdini, spiritualism, seances, and all of the good stuff that I love, that spiritualist time. And I'm just going to plug it really quickly. On January 2nd, I have Dave Schrader coming on Spirit Switchboard as well.
Nice.
Too. And it's going to be a different take, and you guys that are in the chat will be participating in the conversation. And it'll be fun.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. And I will say quickly, Monday on the Angel Rock, 6 p.m. Eastern, I have Paul Weatherhead coming on, and I believe his book is about ghosts of Christmas past and a whole bunch of spooky, ooky stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was a riveting, wonderful show. It went by so quickly.
It's always fun hanging out with both of you.
Yes,
thank you both. I love you both dearly. Thank you.
Ditto. Let me know when you get your app going. I want the Kerrilynn meditation app.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank everybody in the chat.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone in the chat. You guys rock. Thank you, everyone, so much. We appreciate you over here. We love United Public Radio Network and everybody that's in it, and chats in the chats, and all of our guests and hosts. The whole thing just is amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One big happy family.
One big happy family. Yes. Yeah. Thank you all, guys, so much.
Thanks,
I will talk to you guys soon. Take care, hon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.